Hi you guys, how are you? So I am super excited today to share with you my May favorites. These products are kind of my favorites throughout April and May, although I didn't really wear a ton of makeup in April, so they really are my recent favorites. I'm really excited because I have missed filming favorites videos. Those are probably some of my favorite to watch, to film, because I love sharing my favorites with you guys, but I also love hearing what you've been loving, so make sure you let me know in the comments below if you discovered anything recently that you absolutely love or you think I need to check out, especially for summertime. But I have a few products that I have just been obsessed with, so I can't wait to tell you guys about them. So I posted about this first favorite on Instagram a little while ago, but I wanted to mention it in this video because it has literally been my favorite product over the past few months, and that is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I have absolutely been loving this. I feel like when it first came out, so many people were talking about it, so that's when I actually picked it up, and I've been using it ever since, and it is amazing. It just does a great job at priming your skin for foundation, and it kind of depends on what you're going for that day. If I'm going for like a really full coverage look, I might use a different primer, but for my everyday makeup, I definitely reach for this, especially in the warmer months, because it's just really refreshing. It does a great job at just priming your skin for foundation without adding any extra texture, if that makes sense. When you apply a primer, at least usually when I use one, it's adding like a pretty thick layer onto your skin, and then on top of that I add concealer, foundation, powder. So by the end, you know, I have a lot of things on my skin. This is nice because it preps the skin without adding too much texture, if that makes sense. It does have just enough, so it kind of leaves your skin with a slightly almost sticky feeling, so your foundation sticks really well, but not too sticky, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain because I've never tried anything like this. It's almost like a setting spray, and you can use it to refresh your makeup throughout the day, but I really like to use it before I apply anything else, and I just love it. It's a nice lightweight primer, and it lasts forever. I've been using this for months, and I still have over half the bottle left, so I definitely recommend trying this out if you haven't already. My absolute favorite foundation over the past few months has been the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation. So many of you guys told me to try this. Like, a bunch of you told me to try it, and I was like, no, I really love my Covergirl 3-in-1. I don't want to try anything else, but I finally picked it up at the drugstore and I have been loving it. I wouldn't say it has replaced my Covergirl 3-in-1, but it's a really nice alternative. I was pleasantly surprised by the coverage that this foundation provides. It provides, I would say, a medium to almost full coverage, and I like this if you have oily skin. I think that you're really going to like this because it gives you a nice matte finish. I feel like when you apply this, it doesn't really leave like a luminous finish. It really mattifies the skin. The only problem is that I wear the lightest shade. This is number 105, and it is a little bit too dark for me, so I do wish there were some lighter shades. I'm pretty sure the shade range in general really isn't that great. I think there's, like, I would say less than 10 shades, so that's definitely a downside, but I do like the actual formula. So I know it is a somewhat newer product, so maybe they will come out with additional shades, but thank you to those of you that have recommended this to me. I like it because it's lightweight, it really keeps my skin matte, and I think it's so great for the warmer months. Along with that, I decided to try the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Powder Foundation. Now, I use a similar product to this. I don't know if it was discontinued. This seems to be almost the exact same product, but I was using this. It came in like blue packaging, and I feel like it's the same. I really like this. If you like powder foundations, you're going to like this, or if you like powder that provides a lot of coverage, you're going to like this. I use this on days when I need a lot of coverage, or on areas where I just want more coverage rather than like a loose powder. I would definitely recommend it. I feel like they work well together if you want an extremely full coverage look, but I tend to kind of use one or the other, but they are both great options. I have a few more face products to show you, but I'm actually going to skip around and show you some lip product favorites just to switch it up a little bit. So I have really been loving this nude lip combination from the drugstore. The first one is the Rimmel London Kate lipstick. I believe it's number 111. My dog's got a hold of this and chewed this one up, so let me see if it actually says. It doesn't say on the side, but I'll link it in the description box below so you can know for sure. So I apply this one first, and then on top top of it, I apply the NYX matte lipstick in the color Spirit. I have been loving this combination so much. I feel like for some reason I don't necessarily like either one of them on their own, but when you apply them together, it just gives a really, really gorgeous look. I think that the Rimmel London one is just a little bit almost too dark for me. They're pretty similar, so I feel like if you look at them in person, you're going to be like, you could just use one or the other. But then the NYX matte lipstick is a little bit light for me, so I feel like when you apply the dark one and then you apply the lighter one on top, it just gives the perfect combination. And I also really like the finish of these NYX matte lipsticks. I think they just give you a really beautiful kind of, not like super matte, it's kind of like satiny matte because they are a really hydrating finish. So I feel like these two together are just so, so beautiful. I wore them in my last video and I've actually just been wearing them non-stop whenever I go anywhere. So I definitely recommend picking these up and trying them out. So my favorite bronzer of the moment has definitely been the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer. I really love this. I just have like a little travel size here, but I've been using it so much recently. I feel like it is just perfect. I also feel like I could kind of get away with the lighter one, which I had used previously. I'm thinking about trying it again to see if that one works for me better. But I love this because it really just helps to warm up the complexion if you're using it as a bronzer. And I personally also like to use it to contour. I know that you're supposed to use bronzers just for bronzing up the skin and contouring powders for contouring, and that they're not really, you know, some people are pretty strict about whether or not they're interchangeable. Personally, I'm not a huge contouring powder fan because they tend to be a little bit too cool toned for me. And you know, I like this one because I use it to bronze in my face and then I use a more precise brush to do the contouring. So it is the same color and I feel like they just blend together really beautifully. I love this. I think it smells delicious, it blends out nicely, and it also wears on the skin really well. I feel like I've mostly just been wearing bronzer, no highlighter, no blush, but when I do wear blush, I have been loving this one from theBalm. This is their Instain Blush in the shade Swiss Dot. I am obsessed with this, and for a while I never really wanted to try it because it says that it's a long-wearing staining powder blush, and for some reason in my mind I kind of thought it was like going to be like a cream product, but this is the most amazing powder blush. First of all, this color is absolutely beautiful. It's so flattering on so many different skin tones, but I feel like it's perfect for the spring and the summertime just because it's kind of like a peachy coral pink shade, and it goes with every single makeup look that you want to try. But this really does have kind of a staining effect to it, which surprised me because it is a powder blush, but it lasts on the skin so well. I don't know about you, but blush wears off my skin so quickly, and by the end of the day my blush just, it's worn off. This stays on extremely well. At the end of the day, it's still there. It goes on beautifully, it blends beautifully, it's super pigmented, and I really, really like this. So I can't wait to try more of their Instain blushes. If you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below so I can check them out. I actually did a foundation routine featuring these products, so I will link it in the description box below if you want to check it out. But I've really been wearing this so much. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Cream. When my husband and I went on the cruise, this was literally all I wore. I didn't wear foundation. I wore this just to even out my skin tone during the day, during the night. I love this because it has an SPF of 50 in it, and a lot of SPFs can make my skin break out or just can irritate my skin. This does not do that, and this provides the most amazing coverage. Like, you guys have to check out my foundation routine using this. I was convinced that BB creams and CC creams were not for me because I love full coverage. This is literally the most amazing CC cream. I would even say it's like one of my top favorite foundations because it's just a great product. You guys have to try it. So I have been wearing the shade Light. I did try the lighter shade. I think it's fair, but I think that light works well for my skin tone. So if you have a similar skin tone to me, definitely try this out. My last beauty favorite has definitely been the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Mascara. I meant to get the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, but I ended up grabbing this one, but I've really been liking it. It's just a great mascara for making sure your eyelashes are thick and voluminous, and it's super black. I really, really love it. I think that it's just like my new favorite mascara, although I have been recently, over the past few days, using the L'Oreal Miss Manga. I think that's how you say it. It's been a while since I've actually said that out loud, but I've really been loving that one as well, but that's only been the past few days. So I loved this one over the past 2 months, and let me know if you guys like this one or the Carbon Black better, because if I repurchase it, I want to make sure I get the better one. And one last random favorite, some of you guys are going to think this is absolutely ridiculous, some of you will probably understand, but I have been loving these water bottles. These are from the brand Beaker, and they are glass water bottles. I actually got mine from the Birchbox website, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I've developed an obsession. I have a bunch of them, like way too many of them, but it's just, they're a really, really fun thing to have. Now, they are pricey for a water bottle, do not get me wrong. I probably wouldn't go and just spend a bunch of money on water bottles, but whenever I get like points on the Birchbox website, I'll usually redeem them for a water bottle instead of beauty products, just because I've been loving these so much. So they're glass water bottles. They have 2 different sizes. This is the bigger one, and they have a smaller size as well. I got one a few months ago, and it was like literally always in my hand more than my phone. Like, I was just obsessed with it. You know, they say that plastic water bottles have BPA in them, and BPA has, like, it can cause cancer. There's just a bunch of research about how glass water bottles are just better for you, and I've been trying to drink a lot of water, and I feel like it just helps to have a cute accessory. And honestly, it is a little pricey. I'm not gonna say that it's not, but for me, it's become one of those like guilty pleasure things where it's just, you know, it's too expensive, but you buy it anyway, and I have a bunch of them, and I just love them. And honestly, I feel like the water does taste better when you drink it out of glass, which might sound so dumb, but try it and you'll know that I'm not crazy. This has really also saved money because we don't purchase plastic water bottles anymore. It helps the environment. It's better for you. All around, I think it's a pretty good investment if you don't go crazy and buy a million of them like I have, but they're so cute. They're really handy, and they're just great. So if you're looking for a good water bottle and you're willing to spend a little bit of money, I would recommend these. So those are all of my recent favorites. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I would absolutely love to hear what you've been loving, so make sure you let me know in the comments below, as well as any videos you want to see on my channel, because I would love to film them for you. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful month of June. The day that I upload this, we're actually leaving for vacation, so I will have lots of downtime, and I'm just looking forward to catching up on my YouTube comments and things like that. So leave me a comment down below letting me know what you guys are up to so I can chat with you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!